Hey guys, welcome to tonight's stream. And tonight we are going to hopefully sort out our camera position, etc. for the climbing exercise that we are now going to do. Okay, so we have it so that our character can go up right, and she does go, and there we go. And she does kind of fall off, but that's okay because we're not going to worry about that for a minute. Okay, so the thing we're going to do is when you hit the climb button, we're going to lock the camera and the player or move them to a certain place, disable their input, which we're already doing, and then make them climb up the ladder in the center. Okay, so from that point of view, we have a point here which is the ladder itself and its actual position. Right? And we're going to have to find out its actual rotation, which is 180, right? And then we're going to have to find out our rotation. Okay? So, the easiest way to do that is to press play. Right? And she is at the correct angle to climb. So if we come out of there, go into our outliner and click on our thing, we have a rotation of 154. Okay. Now the interesting thing there is it's the pawn. It's the mesh itself. Right? And I hit the wrong button there. Okay. So I want to get her at an angle of 180, right? Because that is what our ladder is at. So that's -5, -133. So $177 is there. Okay. So we are basically 90 degrees out. Okay. So we need to get her to turn around to face our 90-degree angle. Okay. So at this point, when we click this button, right, we're not going to make her climb, right? Let's see what we've got here. Right, disable input, that's okay. So we're going to do something like that, and having the actor location at this point might be a good idea. So what we're going to do at this point is try to spin her around to face make sure she is facing the ladder, right? So what we want to do is get actor rotation in itself, right? And then we're going to break out the rotator, and then we're going to spin 90 degrees. So we're going to say minus, no, equals, we're going to say minus 90 degrees. That isn't it either. Right, so I'm going to say minus 90 degrees. Okay. Because we know what that is, the actor offset. And the interesting thing here is set actor rotation. Okay, so we're just going to plonk that there just now. Right. Then we're going to do another one of these, get actor rotation. Right, we're going to drag this down because that's going to be self. This one is actually going to be for the reference character. And we're only going to take, we might actually take the pitch on this one, but for now we only want her to take the yaw, right? So, sorry, we're going to split this. We're going to leave the roll and the pitch as it is for the moment, and we're going to do that. Okay, and we're going to see what effect that has on our character and camera. Okay, so we're now going to do it. Okay, so that looks good. And the next thing we're going to do is place her right in the center. Okay. And for this, we're going to get actor location. Right. We're going to do this twice because here we're only going to take the X and the Y. Okay. And we're going to do that. Then we'll tidy this up when we need to. Right, but we're going to drag this out a bit to give us more space. And then we're going to set actor location. Okay, then we're going to split the struct. We're going to drag this in here. We're going to drag this in here. We're going to drag this off. We're going to break it. We're going to drag this off. We're going to break it. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap these around. Okay. We're going to take the X and the Y from our ladder, and we're going to take the Z from our character. Okay. And now, in theory, our character should be exactly in the right position to climb the ladder. Okay. So if we go slightly off, you'll notice that she jumps to the middle. Okay. Then what we can actually do is just join this up. Okay. We can tidy this up a little bit. And we can drag this out a bit. That's fine. Drag this down a bit. There we go. So, and play this. We should be able to walk up and climb. And there we go. Okie doke. So we can come up here, climb, And yeah. And I'm going to say that 100 is too much. And I'm also going to say that taking 2 seconds is too long. So I'm going to change this down to 1 second. Right. Now, the one more thing that we actually need to do here is move her camera back to its original position. Okay? So, we need to have a look at her and find out if her right, so we need these all set to 0. Right? So I'm going to check this out. So at this point, right, her camera boom is at 0. Her follow cam is at 0. Right? Now, when we turn, we've obviously okay. So we obviously don't actually want anything else playing. Okay, so I think what we need to do is we need to go into the animation blueprint, right? And we need to blend. Let's try this. Blend, pose by bull. Okay, and we say is climbing, and we're going to say not. Right. And if that's true, we go in there, and if it's false, we go in here. Otherwise, right, we use cached pose. Okay. And we'll just set that the same as that other one. We'll say 0.4, 0.4. Okay, so we don't want her to do anything with her head or anything regarding this if we are climbing, right? So we can check this out. And there we go. Okay. Press R. Right, so that's actually kind of working. We need like a so the question is, you see our follow camera is not looking straight forward. Right? So that is the issue here, that we need a way to reset the camera. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll play with a couple of settings here. right? So we're going to get our reference character again. And we're going to say follow camera. Get follow camera. Right? And we're going to do an event tick just to do as a print string on where the camera and the camera boom are. So we're going to say rotation first. We're going to split the struct. Then we're going to check the yaw. Okay. And we're going to find out what is actually doing the rotating. And it is the yaw. But in relation to the camera, so the interesting thing here apart from getting a load of bots here, so we're going to do an append, right? And we're going to add a pin here. Then we're going to add some spaces so that we know the difference. Right? And then I'm going to get the boom. And then I'm going to get world rotation. And I'm going to do the exact same thing to see if these are ever different. So that we'll see if one of them is actually spinning independently of the other. So we're going to stop that and actually plug these things in. So the first one's the camera, the second one's the boom, okay? And they're both the same. And the boom is not the same now. Right, so what I'm going to say here is that if we set the camera and the boom to basically the same value as this one, this part, then we might actually be okay. We'll try it anyway. See what happens. The camera. In fact, it might be just the boom that we need to set. And that's not what we want to do. So we're going to get the camera boom set rotation, and we're not setting absolute rotation. Set rotation. Okay. And just as a laugh, we'll set that to 90. The pitch and roll should be 0 anyway. Yeah, I think. We'll plug that in. And we'll test this out. This is a weird one because it's a orbital camera, so it's not really as straightforward as locking it to the player, right? Because you'll notice that the camera isn't now locked to the player, right? The player doesn't turn with the camera, right? She kind of only turns right. We might actually need 75 on that, but you'll notice that I don't think that was actually doing anything, because if we look here, press that, nope, not doing anything. Okay. So it's not the follow boom. So we'll get the camera and we'll set that. Okie dokie. Ah. Okay, okay, hang on. So that did kind of work, except it kind of didn't. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say get Right, let's have a look at this one more time, right? This is our camera boom. And the socket offset is 40. Now, I'm just wondering if I was to set both of these right, if I was to set both of these and set both the transforms, right, let me just try this for a laugh. This will be funny. So I'm going to say transform we're going to set the transform set transform. Can I set the transform? Okay, no, yeah, I can. Right. And I'm going to duplicate that. Now, these scales are slightly different, right? So I'm going to split this pin. And I'm going to do this manually first, right? Now, if you look at the camera boom, it's 0.44. And if you look at the follow camera, it's 1. Okay? So I'm going to set these manually. So that one's 1. And this is 0.44. If this works, we'll change it to actually get it from the object itself, so that these are not hard coded. Now, this would be quite interesting if it worked. I'd be quite glad about it if it worked. Oh, hi Jameson, how you doing, bud? I'm just trying to figure out how to get our player to lock on, right, to our ladder, right? And the problem is that you've not got a character that moves or rotates with the camera, right? So we need to move the camera back to its default position when she starts climbing. Oh my god. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think we only want the rotation set to 0. Or maybe we don't actually. Or maybe we just set the relative positions. Right, I'm going to try something here. rotation. And we're just going to set the relative location to rotation to 0. Right, and we're going to do it for both of them. We're going to try that, and then we're going to try location. And then we're going to try them both. Okay. So, we've got our thing, we're going to climb, and that does nothing. Okay. So, now, we're going to try the relative location. And we'll see what that does. Okay. Yeah, it's I'm getting kind of frustrated, but I'm also kind of enjoying it because I never normally use a lot of the relatives. It's normally I'm going with the world positions and stuff. So it can be a bit frustrating, but the more you do it, you kind of get a bit more sort of comfortable with it. And you kind of begin to make sense of it. Right now, you see here, if I move the camera, it's fine, right? But it's like, what are the X and the Y, the relative positions of the camera, right? So I'm going to do an event tick, which I will remove, right? But I want to know relative rotation. Get relative low, right? I don't, wait a minute. Right. Rotation. Get world location. Okay. Let's get the world rotation. right? And the one we're interested in here is yaw, okay? So print string do that, save that. Right, so if we press play, right, that's not moving, okay? So our camera boom is not moving. Now I wouldn't have expected that, right? Right. So when we're directly started, we're at 90. Okay. So if that's the case, it's the follow camera and its world rotation. Okay. So delete these. We can stop that. So this world rotation right, and we're going to do this the right way for a change. We're going to remove these, right, we're going to delete that, rotation. So we're going to get the world rotation. We're going to split this, right? We're going to go with the roll. We're going to go with the pitch, but we're going to go with that yaw. Okay. So, right, you can look over there all you want, Hen. Right. Okay. That's fine. Because now I know what I've got to do. Or do I? I know right, okay. Here's what I've got to do, right? I have got to move the camera back behind to its original position. Okay? That's fundamentally what I've got to do here. So I've got to actually set world location. Right? And that world location is going to be basically the distance between the camera and the character. Right, which is 100 behind the character with a 40 offset. Right? So I'm going to get I'm not actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that yet. Right? I'm going to do that event tick again, and I'm going to find out if our camera location is actually moving. Right? So I shouldn't really have removed that just yet, but I did, so whatever. So we're going to do a print string. Okay, print string, print string. Then we're going to get our formula camera. Then we're going to append and that's the wrong append. We want to append on a string. We add that, right? Then we're going to get location. I'm going to actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get the relative location. I'm going to try this first. Right? And I'm going to see if this actually changes. So we're going to go like that. We're going to go like that. And then we're going to go like that. And we're going to print it out. So the first value is X, the second value is Y. And then we're going to find out if it's moving relative or if it's moving actual world position. Right? Right, so it's not moving relative. Okay? Now you'll notice it's still 0. So our relative is always 0, so it isn't moving relative. So it is actually moving world position. Right? World location. Right? Now we're going to have to find out the difference between when we start the game, right? We're going to have to set a value that tells us where the restart, you know, basically where the default position is for the camera relative to the character. Right? So you'll notice when we roll, it's moving us back right? So you'll notice that when we're here, right, what we could do is delete that, then we could get pawn, then we could get the world position, the world location, right? And then we basically say minus vector minus vector, and that's going to give us the difference that we basically add to, we add back to the actor to basically reset back to the actual original position, right? I hope that makes sense. Probably doesn't. I don't think it even makes sense to me. Right, but anyway. So this value here, right? We are minus 34, 102. Okay? So on the X, we are minus 34. On the Y, we are minus 102. Now, the interesting thing is that what we should be? Or is that the view we want? Because I am kind of the view that that's not the view we want. Right, so that is bollocks, right? So basically our pawn here, what we could do, right, is we could do this on begin play, right? We can add a variable, okay, and we can say camera offset, okay. Now let's see, camera offset, right, that is just a float. Now I'm not sure what that relates to. Having said that, we have a function in here, right, that moves the camera, like switch camera side, right? So it moves the socket offset. Okay. And the camera boom offset is 0. Right? But that's just changing the boom offset. Right? That still doesn't change the camera position, right? Yeah, you'll notice here that it's doing stuff with the yaw. Right? And that's the camera yaw, character yaw angle. Wonder where that is. I'm guessing that's a local variable in the function itself. Right guys, if you're enjoying the stream, hit like and subscribe. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Going to grab myself a drink and a cigarette. Check out the description for links to my Discord and Patreon to support the channel and stuff. And also my previous game on Steam. I shall be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Okay guys, we're back. And if we go back to here, right, we've got our pawn, and I thought we'd created certainly didn't create it there. Okay, event graph. Event graph. Okay. I was sure I'd created a new variable. Maybe I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. It's just I didn't change it to a vector. Right, so that is going to be vector, and on begin play, we're going to get and set that. Right, so we'll drag that along a bit, hopefully get enough space, which we haven't, but it'll fit just now. We'll plug that in there, plug that in there, right, and this is going to probably come in handy for a lot of things, because there's a lot of the time we want to actually set the camera behind the player and then disable the camera, right, disable input, and then set it back up again when we come out, right? So that's going to allow us to do that with this camera offset. Okay, so let's try this out, shall we? This is going to be interesting, I can tell you that. So we're going to set the world location of our camera, but we're going to get it from somewhere else. We're going to get it from the reference character, right? And we're going to say camera offset, and that went a bit weird. Camera offset, right? And it's going to be our character location, I don't know why I did that. It's going to be get world location, okay, it's not, it's going to be get actor location, right, and then we're going to say that minus that, and that goes in here. And if this works, it'll be a miracle. It'll be a nice miracle, but it would be a miracle. Okay. So, R. Okay. That's fine. Because it should be plus. And it's kinda nearly right. Kinda nearly. Right? So we know that it is actually nearly right. Let's have a look at that again, right? Right, we're off to the side here. Okay. There's something still not quite right about this. I think the thing is, that after we do this, we have to actually take it away again. So I'm going to duplicate that, then I'm going to delete it, then I'm going to minus it. Right? And then when we do that, we're going to do this. And this should put it back. Now, this should put it back, right? Oh yeah, it's the... wait a minute. We're getting the follow camera. Right? So this is follow camera. Okay. You see, it's not quite right. Right? I wish there was a button. I'm going to escape that. Ah, you see, that's not going to work anymore. I'm along the right lines with the offset, right? But it's not going to work because at this point, well, actually, you're getting this location again, so the new location should actually work. Right? But there has to be something that I'm not doing. There's something not quite right here, is what I'm saying. We are close, but no cigar. Okay? I'm not sure that moving the camera in this way is the right way to go, right? Now, if we're doing that, right, you'll notice that we're now in the right position. We're watching her correctly, right? But now, on the camera, forward is not forward, right? So, we've moved the relative position of the camera, not... We've moved the world position of the camera, not the relative position of the camera. Yeah? So there's some other way I've got to spin the camera around, right? Till it gets to a certain position. Okay. So, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there for tonight. It's Saturday night. I hope you guys can have a good time. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, probably after the World Cup final. If you've enjoyed the stream, hit like and subscribe. Check out the description for the Discord and my Patreon to support the channel in game, and also there's a link to my previous game on Steam which you could add to your wishlist to help with the Steam algorithm. But I'll say bye bye for now.